In this box is the Greer small exterior wall lantern. It's the Home Decorations collection. I'm not sure if this is owned by Home Depot or not. You can have it in, I would say, damp locations. I never like to say wet locations, but I'm not a licensed electrician. There is the number if you want to check it out, and the UPC is actually completely covered, so I can't give you that. This box is really confusing because it looks like up here would be the top because these two sides are even, and then that one is sideways. So yeah, what a funky box. Anyway, let's get this open. Right inside, you've got the installation guide. Now, I'm not going to go over how to install this exactly because I am not a licensed electrician and I don't want to be held liable for anybody hurting themselves. So if you're not comfortable doing this or it's illegal in your area to do it yourself, hire an electrician to do this. In the box, it's a protective piece there. There is the hanging bit. It makes it look like it's hanging. There is the bottom part, I believe. And then the main unit right here. Yeah, it's all encased. Let me get that out. In the bag, the little bag, you're gonna find a couple pieces, one of which is this eyelet looking thing right here. And that goes on top, get it right? That goes on top right there. So you then can put this into here. The eyelet piece has to be put on first because it does screw in. So you're gonna have to get that before you have the piece that looks like it's hanging. We'll go all the way to tighten at least on this one. So we're gonna have it slightly loose, and that's not gonna matter much because this will be hanging on there. Here it is before the install. Like I said, this part right here, the eyelet, might be a little loose. That doesn't really matter because as long as you have it tight back here, this isn't gonna fall off, and that doesn't really even support it at all anyway. This is mainly just for looks, to make it look like somebody's kind of holding a lantern. But when you get it in, make sure to get this part really tight. And when you're pushing down on here after you've gotten it hooked in here, it will spring back and try to scratch this. So you want to push in while you're pushing down to get it through that hole there. But make sure the back is tight. If you are doing this self, just go ahead and eyeball it to make sure everything looks straight. Because if you get everything tight and get it on there and it's all kind of wonky, that's not going to be fun to have to take back down when you could just straighten it out in the first place. And again, I'm not going to go through the actual installation of hooking electrical wires up because I am not an electrician. All right, we've got the old one off. Now let's get this up and get it installed. That is the old one off. Well, we got it up and in, looking good so far. Let's get this out and get a light bulb up inside there. It does come apart here at the bottom, and I stand corrected. You undo that and the bottom part comes off. The top is still completely on there. They are right here to remove them, both sides. Be careful removing these. These aren't very tall. There's not a lot of extra room, and they do have washers on top, so be sure not to drop those. Got those two back on, and be careful with this, with the whole thing in here being glass. It's pretty fragile. You drop it, even if it doesn't hit the glass, it's likely gonna break. I'll do the other side, and then we will turn this on. There we have one on. These are pretty decent, but this one might be a little bent. I can't really tell. It doesn't fit flush. Right here it looks like it does with the house. But to the side, which I can't really get that well with the camera, it does not look like that. It looks slightly bent. And here is the other one. And this one seems to be slightly bent as well, but not nearly as bad. You can't really tell in the camera, so I guess take my word for it. Anyway, this does appear to be based on this, which is the manual, Home Depot, because homedepot.com/home decorators. And there is the actual model number in case you want to find that at Home Depot or homedepot.com. But I would give this thing, I'd say probably a 7 out of 10 lumens. It does have some defects here, just here and there, not big stuff. These are a little janky. That one's not so bad. The other one is a little loose. And getting this on and off, although it does work, you almost need 3 hands to do this. But I do like this. I think it's well worth the money if you're gonna have it on for a couple years.